Everybody, welcome to our first episode. We've got a cool beer. Just kind of get you updated. The company is called Wooglin's Brewing. My name's Vincent. You probably know Preston a lot better from his I'd Have a Beer account.
I hope so, anyway.
Yeah. So we're kind of doing this because we think there's a cool community of beer lovers, and then we both have dreams to open our own brewery one day, and so we figured we'd start with the name and then figure out the beer later. So we're gonna start maybe doing some home brewing stuff, entering into some competitions, and then who knows? We'll see how this all goes. So
Yeah, we definitely got a lot in front of us, but we figured, start with the brand first and then learn the rest as we go. Without further ado, what we're starting out with is Magenta, and that is from Oxbow. Oxbow. I have having trouble because brewery's Oxbow. They actually have a location in Oxford, Maine. It's not where their original location was, but I just keep getting those swapped around. So yes, Oxbow in Oxford, but the main location's actually in Newcastle, Maine. And kind of, I guess, what Vincent and I are hoping. It's founded by two guys, just how we're hoping to, found our brewery here in the near future. And so they basically had a dream just like us, start a brewery. And so they found an old barn, and they turned that thing into now a brewery that's been going about 10 years. And they do specialize in this style of beer, and we'll get more into the details of it. But they do a lot of like farmhouse style ales, and Magenta is no different than that.
I think, yeah, lead us through your tasting ritual.
Yeah, so typically whenever I get a new beer, I look at the bottle a bit, check it out. That's, I guess, just for my own personal choice. Has nothing to do with the taste of the beer. But then what I typically do, I read up about the beer to find out some more information about it, see like what I could expect with it. So with this being a farmhouse ale, I'd assume it has the incorporation of Brettanomyces to kind of give it like a funky barnhousey flavor. So I don't know. I didn't look into exactly if this has it, but I'd venture to bet it does. I do know that it was made with mixed fermentation, so they did take different batches of malt characters and then different batches of, I'd assume, also the bacteria like Brettanomyces, and they mixed it together and did it in like a two-step fermentation process, which isn't normal, but it's a good way to make like a more complex beer. And so this one was also re-fermented with Concord grape juice. So along with the farmhouse vibes, it also would, in theory, then have some like grapiness on the back of the tongue would be my best guess. But we'll dive into it together.
Yeah. All right. Let's start with the smell, I guess. Aroma, as it's called, right?
Yeah, and you got to make sure to agitate the beer. You don't want to fill the glass up too much, because then you swirl it around, it falls right over the sides. So yeah, on the smell, definitely getting like that classic funkiness from the farmhouse ale. So kind of reminiscent of like being in a barn, like out in the middle of, I guess in this case, Maine.
Yeah, I can definitely smell sweetness in the grape, and it doesn't smell like any other beer I've smelled before. To be honest, it's
very
really
unique. Yeah, I've never had one like incorporated with Concord grape juice, so this will be an experience. But I say cheers.
Yeah, cheers. First
Give
one.
it a try. I would now almost guarantee the incorporation of Brettanomyces in it. It has that really distinct funkiness that I'm sure you would not want in some beers, but others accept it and roll with it nicely, like this one.
Yeah. It's definitely got like a musty taste to it, like not in a bad sense, but like definitely something farmhousey about it.
Yeah, it's funny because with these ales, it actually like a lot of the descriptors are something that you'd be like I don't want a beer to taste like that. Like that sounds awful.
Yeah, but no, it goes well with especially with a little bit of a sweeter aspect to the beer. I think it really kind of offsets nicely. It reminds me of like a New Year's when you were a kid and your parents got you that sparkling grape juice.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that. Definitely the grape juice comes out a lot.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. I want to say, like, I think we wrote down with the ABV. Yeah, so 7.5% ABV.
One thing that's cool, like, that we thought about it was, like, the bottle it comes in, like, we make comparisons to, like, kind of a winey comparison, I think it has. And, like, it comes in, like, a wine bottle looking thing. And I really like the logo. And it kind of tells you some cool stuff. Like, its production time was 9 months, and it says to enjoy within 3 years. That's kind of similar with wine, actually. Is like, you kind of want to, depending on the wine, some wines you want to age 10 to 15 years, and some wines you, like, really want to be drinking within the first couple years. So that's really cool that they were to incorporate that aspect of it for somebody who really likes to enjoy the taste of the beer. But I like it, though. We're also going to be rating the beers. We rate our beers on Untapped. You can follow us. Our usernames, mine is valerding16, VALERDING 16.
And then I'll make mine easier. Mine's just P Casper, and Casper is like the ghost. So
yeah, so we'll have these on our Untapped, and we encourage you to friend us on that and put in your own ratings. But what's your rating on this one, Preston?
So I do my ratings, I guess, in a couple different ways. I always have in the back of my head, like, my personal thoughts on it, which doesn't reflect, the beer, the quality of the beer. But this isn't necessarily my style. Like, I don't know how frequently I'd have a farmhouse ale, fermented with grape juice. So me personally, out of 5, obviously, just like my Instagram page, I'd put it, like, right at that, like, 3-1 range in terms of, like, me personally. But in terms of, like, stylistically, I mean, this is just about exactly what you'd expect with a farmhouse ale. It might not be as funky as some, which if you're into the style, you kind of want that more funk. So in terms of that, out of 5, I'd put it 3.7.
3.7. I like the uniqueness of it. For me, that's what I feel like I want to look for in a beer, especially in beer tastings. I feel like, especially being a newer beer taster, a lot of beers can blend in with each other, and it's like, this tastes like every other IPA I've ever had. But this is obviously unique. So I really like that about it. I think I agree with where you're at. And actually, I don't want to think that I'm just giving the same rating as you. But I was going to go 3.75 on mine because I do like this. So good job to Tim and Jeff.
Not that we're the ones to be able to say you did a bad job, even if you did, but hey, I mean, we will definitely take notes, and I hope to someday visit that brewery out in Maine, All right, everyone, we're on to beer number 2, and we're tackling Hoppin' Frog's Double Pumpkin Ale. And this thing, I'm pretty excited for. I mean, it's fall season. What goes better with the fall than pumpkin?
Flannels.
I guess flannels. And I actually have had Hoppin' Frog before. Not this beer, of course, but I had a double chocolate cake stout from them. And funny enough, I made poutine using the beer. So I had like a poutine recipe. It's huge in Canada. I don't know why it hasn't leaked over to the States, but it's huge in Canada, and it required like a stout to make like the gravy. So I used this like chocolate cake stout, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, these guys are interesting. They actually distribute to 22 states, but 38 countries, which I don't know why they don't just distribute to more states. Maybe some weird laws, but...
Hey, Fred Carm, if you're listening, you could talk to us, and then we could, find out why you only distribute to 22 states and 38 countries.
Yeah. But also, this is ranked 20th best brewer in the world by Rate.Beer. So that's pretty cool. Lots of awards by them.
I guess one other thing I'll mention about beer, which you can probably see like around here. It actually is a gold medal finalist in the 2010 American Beer Festival. I don't know why I had to look at that to tell you what the festival was, but yeah. So I mean, this means serious business.
Yep.
So
right.
yeah, let's cheers.
Cheers.
Swirl that around. I mean,
Pumpkin pie.
It's like, I feel like you can almost smell like the graham cracker crust.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah, like it smells baked. Like,
yeah. All right, let's do it.
more pumpkin pie.
Exactly what it smells like. It tastes like. You can definitely get the cinnamon in it. And I don't know about you, but I have like a strong, I guess, taste knowledge for allspice. Like whenever allspice is in something, I can taste that pretty clearly. And I'd say this definitely has allspice in it.
Yeah, definitely the cinnamon. What's weird about it is like you get it first on your tongue, and you're like, oh, it's beer, like classic beer taste that you normally get, and then you drink it, and when it comes down, it gets really creamy on the back of your tongue, and then it's like you kind of get really smacked in the face with the pumpkin pie. It's good though.
Yeah, it definitely does have like a creamier mouthfeel to it, despite it being an ale.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's sitting at like 8. I want to say 8.4. 8.4%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.4% ABV,
Yeah.
and it's not like it has a bite to it, but it definitely has like that warmth. Like as you drink it, you can feel like your face is getting warm. Yeah, I mean this would be great, like just cozied up next to a fire.
Yeah. The one critique I would have is I don't think I could drink many more than one of these because it's just such a heavy, thick, like the taste is like it's kind of like chocolate chip cookies. Like some of them are super good, but you can only have one.
It's definitely like more of a novelty beer, and that's why it is a seasonal beer by then. This obviously isn't a year-round release, and I think it is because of that. It's like that you get in the fall spirit, and you're like, yeah, pumpkin beer sounds good, but then December rolls around, and you're like, I don't really want pumpkin. I've got other things in my mind at that point.
Yeah. I would say this is good if you're cuddled up with your girlfriend or boyfriend and you're drinking this, watching a movie during Thanksgiving, or if you're at Thanksgiving dinner and you'd like to have this with some turkey and gravy, some cranberry, that would probably be really good.
Yeah, and then the nice thing with it being at 8.4%, it is a political year, so Thanksgiving you might need a heavy beer to get yourself through it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then as far as where we got the beer from, I did get it through Tavour. I get a lot of my beers that aren't from Indiana from Tavour. So, yeah, I'm using them a lot, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. I probably should. If Hoppin Frog, one of the 22 states, is Indiana, but Tavour's been so good to me in the past.
And they don't pay us to say that.
No, not yet, anyway.
Yeah, please. We're broke.
But, I mean, rating, like, knowing very well that it's, like, a novelty beer, I'm putting it, like, 4.1. I like pumpkin as a flavor, but it's just, like, it's exactly what you'd expect from it. You don't read double pumpkin ale and think, like, subtle. Like, it is pumpkin. So,
it is pumpkin.
Sticking with 4.1, yeah.
All right. I feel like I struggle with these because it's so unique, especially with the Magenta one that we just tried. They're so unique, and so it's really hard to compare it. And I think Preston was saying, like, on Untapped, like, sour beers are rated way higher than, like, your average ale. So I'm going to try and make a point not to be biased like that. All beers are rated equally by me. So I'm going to give it a 3.9 because I think it's just really incredible how much they kick that pumpkin into you without it being like an offensive taste. Because I think if you go with a flavor this big and you're giving it into the beer like that, it can be really easy to be like, yeah, I taste pumpkin, but I don't want to taste any more of that pumpkin. But this is something where, like, I would really like to really sit down and enjoy the beer. So the fact that they were able to get that pumpkin pie taste in and still make it a great beer at the same time is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah,
so.
And it's interesting too because it's, obviously made with pumpkin, but then they went ahead and used, like, the spices associated with, like, the basic fall seasons, like your pumpkin spice latte. Like, it's the same type vibe with this, and it's because they use the spices as well. So I think they really, like, fell into it and they, like, accepted that this is what the beer's gonna taste like.
Yeah, and sorry, we're gonna be burping a lot on this.
Yeah.
The nutmeg has started to come out more now that I've been drinking more. I'm starting to almost get, like, a little bit of Christmas.
Yeah.
As well. Thanks for watching this first video. We're gonna try and get a lot better, so please in the comments tell us what you want to see. If you have suggestions of beer, there's plenty out there. We're gonna do more. Couple things: like and subscribe the video, and share it with your friends. We're gonna try and build a little bit of community here. Everyone's welcome. If you're a Master Cicerone, first of all, if you're a Master Cicerone, thank you for watching our video. And then,
no kidding.
Yeah, if you're a 21-year-old just having your first sip of beer, that's awesome. Welcome.
I was going to say, make sure to follow me, the beer account on Instagram. It's I'd have a beer _ between the words. That will be changing semi soon, I'm going to start to associate it more with the brewery itself that we're trying to open. But for the time being, still, I'd have a beer. So give that a follow. And if you have like any suggestions that you don't want to leave publicly in the comment section, you can always direct message me. I'm on it pretty frequently, so I can get back to you with any details, anything like that. Yeah, but follow us along on our beer journey.